BlackBusters.
What's cracking with it, family? Welcome back to BlackBusters, man. The best movie review podcast in the world.
In the world, Craig.
In the world, Craig.
In the world.
In the world, bro. I'm just letting we're letting it be known.
It's in the world. The whole world.
The whole world. Their entire world.
Craig.
The best movie Craig. Man, the best movie review podcast in the world, Craig.
Mm-hmm.
I'm your host, Big Ja, and this is my co-host,
Tony Two Punch.
Tony Two Punch.
Bang bang.
Heavyweight contender and our champion
of the world.
Yes.
Craig.
Tony Two Touch, man. Bang bang.
Bang bang.
All he needs to do is touch you twice.
Bang bang.
And you out of there.
Boom.
All right, man. Speaking of his name, because of his name, that lets you know that we're talking about boxing.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest boxing film out right now, probably the only, is Creed 3.
Yes.
Now, we haven't done Creed 1 or 2 yet. We're doing Creed 3 first. This is a little different. Normally, we want to do the part 1s and 2s and 3s first before the ladders. But this is a little different because Creed just came out. It's out right now. So if you haven't seen it, go watch it right now. Director debut by Michael B. Jordan. Written by Keenan Coogler, Zach Baylin, and Ryan Coogler. I'm assuming Keenan and Ryan are brothers.
Yep.
And they're the writers on the film. Michael B. Jordan is the director. His debut directing job, and I think he did a very good job.
Yeah.
Creed 3. We'll start off. Obviously, I'm assuming that you guys have seen. Most of you guys have seen part 1 and 2.
Right.
Creed 3 is a movie starred by Michael B. Jordan himself and the new. I wouldn't say he's new, but he's hitting the scene hard.
Fire.
Pause. And your boy, Jonathan Majors, man.
Yeah.
Jonathan Majors is the co-star of this film. And I believe that's why a lot of people are seeing the film. They just want to see this guy work.
Yeah.
Shout out to Michael B. Jordan for directing this film and his career and his talent. But I'm sure, and I think he knows it too. He's like, bro, let me get this brother as the nemesis in this film so I can get people to come to this film because he's hot. Jonathan Major is the hottest actor in the game right now, white or black.
It's interesting because all of the other stars, like it's interesting watching Jonathan Majors because it's like you're watching a star being born.
Yeah.
And you're seeing it happen in real time, right? Like if we look at like all of the other stars, like I wasn't like old enough to watch like Brad Pitt become a star.
Right.
Or Denzel become a star. They just already kind of were.
Yeah.
Right. You know, and I was watching their movies, like, and at the same time I was falling in love with movies. But it's interesting to watch Jonathan Majors just take off like this.
Right.
Where like everything that
character
he's doing.
After character, role after role.
And just killing it and just slaying it. To like watch, like I think he's on the trajectory to be talked about as one of the greats.
Yes.
Right?
I agree.
He's on his way to being like, because this type of run that he's having with movies and TV and everything that's happening, it doesn't usually happen like that, especially for a black actor.
Right.
Right? Like, you know, he's killing the game.
He's killing the game. And he killed this role.
Yeah.
His role is Damian Henderson. Diamond Dame.
Diamond Dame.
Yes.
Great nickname.
So the movie, for sure. He's a boxer. The movie is basically about Adonis. I'm assuming you guys are familiar with the character. Michael B. Jordan plays Adonis Creed. He's the son of Apollo Creed. And if you watch the Rocky show, the Rocky films, you know, Apollo Creed was Sylvester Stallone's biggest nemesis that became his best friend.
Yep.
And they taught each other stuff. They trained with each other, and Carl Weathers' character, Apollo Creed, helps Rocky become the best champion in the world.
Yeah. We should probably call out, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Creed 3, because we're going to be talking about all of the plot points and, you know, all of that. So if you haven't seen Creed 3 yet, watch this podcast after you see it. So, you know, because we're going to be talking about everything.
Thank you.
So,
yes, sir.
Important call.
And it's not like it's not still in theaters. If it was out of theaters and it came out last year, I'll be like, hey, man, so what? It's not a spoiler now. Y'all still watched it. But the movie is still in theaters right now. So go see it. and put this particular episode on pause.
Yep.
Because this is usually, and this is for the record, usually we do movies that were classics
that have aged for a little bit. Yeah.
Have been out for some years already.
Yeah.
And this is, I think, the first film we're doing that's currently out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And moving forward, we'll do more of this too. We'll do more BlackBusters, black films that are currently out or about to come out.
Mm-hmm.
And if we might have seen a screening before it comes out.
Right.
So we'll probably still air it after the film comes out.
Yeah.
And if it's still in the theaters and it's still able to be watched right now, and we'll probably tell you spoiler alert, and go ahead and pause this episode like we're telling you now and watch the movie first.
Yeah. Support black films.
Once again, support black films. Spoiler alert, we're going to be talking about plot points and direction and performance and different things about this film. So if you don't want to spoil, you don't want to spoil it for you, pause, go watch the film
come back later.
Yeah, and come back later.
Yeah.
So moving on. It's about Adonis Creed. This is part 3. He part 1 and 2. That's not spoiler alert. They came out years ago. Y'all should have been watching.
Right.
He becomes a lightweight champion, a middleweight champion, a light heavyweight champion, and a heavyweight champion, and then now he's retired. So in this film, he has his last fight in 2015, and then he retires. So now he's retired for a while, for 3 years, as a matter of fact.
Yep. And
they let you know a little bit more about his character because they go further back to where he was a kid. And Adonis Creed was a foster child. He grew up in group homes and on the streets and stuff like that around rough kids. Like he was a rough kid himself before Apollo Creed's wife, who then Phylicia Rashad's character, takes him out the group home and basically raises him, adopts him, raises him as her own son. He calls her mom. The only mom he pretty much knows.
True.
She helped raise him from a little boy.
True.
And so he loves her like their blood, as he should. But before she came and got him out that group home, he had a rough life. He grew up with this kid, this slightly older kid named Damian Anderson, and he was like his big brother. They were literally like brothers.
They were like bros.
You know what I'm saying? And like a lot of inner city kids, they get involved with the YMCAs and different gyms. And these two boys were boxers. So Adonis was boxing at a young age at maybe the local gym. Yeah. And so was his older homie, Damian. And so the movie starts off with Damian picking him up. They're like high school kids. Like Damian might be 17, 16. Yeah. And Adonis Creed is probably 14, 15. Yep. He picks him. He stinks at the house, and he takes Damian takes him to his next fight, like an underground fight where he's too young to get into the club, but in the back of the club is like a fighting ring, and he goes there and he fights for money.
And he's the man.
He's the man. He's young, but he's a young prospect. He's a Golden Glove champion. He's a teenager.
Driving a Benz.
He's driving a Benz. Yeah. He's already making money, and unfortunately he carries a gun in his bag. He's not he's a street kid.
He's a street kid.
But he grew up rough.
Yeah.
And Adonis is right behind him. Right. You know?
Adonis has a different life now.
Yes.
Because he's with Mama Creed. Phylicia Rashad.
Phylicia Rashad's character takes him out of that life. Right. And moves him into Bel Air. And now he's basically growing up privileged now.
But Dame is obviously the big homie.
For sure.
And Adonis is enamored to be rolling with them.
Yes.
Like he's so happy and proud and a fan of Dame. Yeah. It's a very clear pecking order. Who's the top dog? Right. And who's the little homie? And Dame looks out after him.
Yeah. You're the little homie, but I love you. Yeah. And I'm gonna take care of you.
And I'm looking out for you.
I'm looking out for you. So
like I always have.
Like I always have. All they had were themselves. Yep. They only had each other. And so Dame wins this fight. This is the flashback. The movie starts off in a flashback. Dame wins this fight, and they celebrate by going to the local liquor store before he takes Adonis back home to his big house in Bel Air, where he snuck out earlier that night. They stop at a liquor store to get some snacks. The kids, let me get some ding dongs, some Twinkies, and some cupcakes and shit like that. Yeah, cherry pies. And so Adonis is a little homie, so he gets out and Damian stays in the car. Hey, give me some snacks.
Yeah.
So he gives him some money, and Adonis goes into the store. As he's walking into the store by himself, he sees a man that walks out. As he walks out, and as they cross each other in front of the store, Adonis notices him as Leon. Leon is an older man that he knew since he was a kid back at the foster care.
At the group home.
At the group home. He was a dad at the group home. And we find this out later, but we don't know why he knows him. But he says, hey, what's up, Leon? And Leon turns around kind of like maybe drunk a little bit.
Yeah.
He's like a wino almost.
Right.
And he was like, you don't remember me, do you, Leon? And Leon was like, no, I don't remember you. And before he could even really talk,
stole on.
Adonis fires on him. Bam, socks him in the mouth, knocks him down, and starts beating his ass. Starts punching him like repeatedly in the face, 10, 15 times. Just boom, boom, boom. Some guys see him do it. I guess these are Leon's homeboys, so they pull Adonis off of Leon and start whooping his ass. So now Adonis is 14, 15 years old, getting jumped by these two grown men. They kicking on him and stuff in defense of Leon. While they're beating up on this kid, Adonis, you see, all of a sudden, you see down the sidewalk, you see big homie Damian Anderson
with the strap. Yeah.
The gun that was in his bag the whole time. And he says, man, get off of him. He cocks the pistol like, hey, man, hey, y'all let go of the homie or else I'm going to shoot y'all. While he does that, the police show up.
Police roll up.
In the flashback.
Yeah. Great opening scene.
Yeah. I love the first act of this film.
Yeah.
I love the grittiness of it. I love the relationship between the two characters. I believe that these boys were really brothers in real life.
I believe that they were hella close.
Yeah, super close because the love seemed genuine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I love that. I believe it. And the casting was dope.
Yeah.
Because he did look like a little young Michael B. Jordan.
They both looked like...
They do look like a young Dan Henderson.
Yeah. It's interesting because then when we fast forward, of course, Adonis is, one of the best champions. He's had a storied legacy career. And then when we get introduced to adult Dame, I just thought it was perfect. I just thought it was perfect.
Yeah.
Because he looks rough.
He looks rough.
And he's got this very interesting energy in terms of like how he relates to Adonis. Like there's that familiarity, there is respect, there is envy, and then there's disdain.
Resentment.
Right? Resentment.
You see it all.
All playing itself out.
And that's a testament to Jonathan Majors, bruh. I see all that. And when he's sitting there looking at Adonis while he's leaning up on this Bentley, he's sitting on this Bentley, and Adonis comes out of his gym and sees him. He doesn't recognize him because he has a hoodie on, his back is turned.
Right.
And even when he turns around, he don't really quite recognize him because
it's been 18 years.
The fact of the matter is, when Dame pulled that gun out in defense of Adonis, police came. He had a prior record. He was already doing street shit already as a young dude. And they took him to jail. And he did 18 years.
And Adonis ran.
Yeah.
And got away.
So he was never implicated. He was never convicted of anything, never arrested. And Dame didn't snitch because, he's the one with the gun. And nothing to really snitch on.
Right.
He had the gun. And he shouldn't have. And he had priors already. He was not legally supposed to. This is California. He was underage, and he had a gun, and he had a record. So he did time. And then I'm sure in jail. And it shows him he's a very confident young dude that's aggressive. So he probably got some years tacked on.
And he said as much.
He said it.
Like, they added some more stuff, to it.
He did some more shit in jail and got in prison and got some more time.
So I want to ask you this.
Yeah.
In my opinion, Dame has every right to be very upset at Adonis.
Yeah.
In my opinion, right? So like when he comes back, he kind of comes back on the humble. It kind of gets revealed later that like that's not exactly the case. But like, yeah, like we supposed to be like bros, and I haven't heard from you in 18 years.
Yeah, so let's get to that. Yeah, man. I would say more hurt than upset.
Yeah.
I think the hurt turns into upset and frustration and then anger and then like F you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he does 18 years straight comes out of prison. A week later, he's out, and he goes to see Adonis for the first time. So Adonis doesn't even know what adult Dame looks like because he's never seen pictures.
Right.
He's never seen him in person. He didn't go visit him at all. He didn't call him. He didn't write him. He didn't do anything. Now, so the first conversation they have is let's have dinner. Let's have lunch. They go to a diner, the old diner they grew up going to.
Yeah.
And they're eating. And he's like, "Hey man, I wrote you a couple times."
Yeah. Yeah.
He was like, "For real?" "Yeah, I wrote you a couple letters." You didn't get them? He was like, "Nah, I never got them." And we almost think he's lying.
Yeah.
Like he's like,
he calls out the address.
yeah.
Mama still
He
living.
said, "Where'd you send him to?" He was like, "Mama Creed's house." She still live in Bel Air?
She's still in Bel Air?
Yeah, same
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I sent it to the right
I
address.
sent it to the right address.
But you never read them?
You never read them?
You never got them?
Okay.
Okay. Right. So it's one of those situations. So now it's awkward tension. And so it also lets us know that now that I don't think he was angry at Adonis at all. Initially, he was writing letters to him.
Yeah.
I think he became angry with Adonis because he
100%.
Because Adonis never responded to it with
100%.
no letters, no calls, no text, no nothing.
Yeah.
And no visits.
Yep.
And that's almost 2 decades, bro.
So when they reconnect, I do not believe that Dame had any desires to like reconnect. I think that like Michael B. Jordan was a means to an end, right? He was trying to become the champion. He was trying to make up for lost time. And I don't think he was ever really interested in having a friendship because I think he probably sees, and when she called him out, is Michael, Adonis is disloyal.
Yeah.
Right?
A coward.
He's a coward. He's a fake. He's a phony. He did not look out.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, for me. So this is all part of my plan to leverage the fact that he owes me and will do this for me.
Right.
To get done what I need to get done.
I'm going to cash in on this favor I'm about to ask him.
Exactly.
Because he owes me.
Right. And I think Duke, the trainer, like at first I was like, was Duke a hater? Or did he understand what was happening here? What do you think?
Here's the thing. So let's re-emphasize the fact that Adonis was, let's say, 15. Dame is 18. 17, 18.
Right.
2 or 3 years older than Adonis. So he goes to jail for 18 years. He pulled the gun out on 2 guys that were beating Adonis up. Adonis started that fight. Adonis deserved to get snatched up and jumped on by these other 2 dudes. And in response, Dame pulls the gun out on the guys that he shouldn't even have.
Right.
He has priors. He has a record. He's underage. He should not have this gun.
But he's looking out for his homeboy.
He's looking out for his homeboy, and that's what's more important. I'll sacrifice everything, and he went to jail for it.
Yep.
And did a lot of time. And that's probably cool, too. He's been to jail before. They talked about it. And so I don't think he has a problem with him going to jail, but you didn't write me, bro. I wrote you. You didn't communicate with me. We went from being brothers. The only reason why I'm here is because I was sticking up for my brother. Right. Now my brother doesn't even have the courtesy or the decency or the respect to call me
while he's blowing up.
Why? And then he's flourishing. He becomes great. And let's say this: Damian's character, Jonathan Major's character, was a phenom. He was like the most
decorated
golden gloves in
Yeah.
the history of the game, in the history of boxing.
Yep.
He was a young dude out of LA that was decorated.
And had a plan.
Had a plan. He was like, I'm gonna become heavyweight champion of the world one day.
Yep. The amateurs, and then I'm gonna go to the Olympics.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna turn pro.
I'm highly touted. I'm a Golden Gloves champion. I'm one of the guys. I'm the best.
Yeah.
And
And
in this age range, so there's nobody that's going to be able to beat me for the next 10 years.
And he said multiple times, and then you're gonna be right there with me.
Right. He always said that, and you're gonna be right there.
You're gonna be right there with me.
Right.
So for the opposite to happen, Michael B. Jordan has all of these things, with the exception of like the Olympics or whatever. But you didn't keep me right there with you.
Right. And so let's talk about that, man, because that let me know that Adonis Creed was a buster. Here's the thing. I know they painted Diamond Dame, Damian Henderson, as like a bad guy.
Yeah.
And he shouldn't have had a gun. But they were both doing street shit. They were both Adonis might not have been in jail before, but he'd been in juvenile hall.
He was in juvie.
He was in juvie. Like he was on his way to be doing the same type of thing.
If Mama Creed doesn't come rescue
He's doing the same thing.
He's the same exact.
He would have been in that. He would have been in San Quentin and or Fulton
100%.
in the next year and a half, 2 years
200%.
after Dane went there. They would have been in there together for sure.
Carbon copies.
Yeah, man. So he got saved. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
That happens. It should happen, and he flourished because of it, because he was still a good kid.
Right.
What would have happened if Dame got that same opportunity? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Instead, he went to jail on his own merit. He deserved to go to jail. He did what he did.
Right.
18 years is a long time for something that he did.
Yeah.
And it's not like he started shooting first. He warned him, hey, bro, get off my homeboy.
Mm-hmm.
Anything, if I had a gun and dudes was jumping on my little brother, but here's the thing, he's a Golden Glove champion. He should have just beat their ass.
Right.
He should have mopped him. He didn't have to pull the gun out. That's the first little discrepancy for me. Why are you pulling the gun out on the fist fight?
Yeah. When you got hands.
When you got hands. I know they're older dudes, but you probably could have knocked both of them dudes out. You know what I'm saying? If Adonis could take care of one dude by himself, and he's a small dude, you could have took them two dudes for sure. But he pulled the gun out when he shouldn't have, and he went to jail for it. So when I say he should, you said you think that Damian is upset with Adonis. He shouldn't be, even though he was.
Yeah,
nigga, you pulled the gun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I know it wasn't efforts to save me.
Yeah, I think,
but not with a gun though.
I think Dame understands the game and recognizes that, like, I did what I did. I think the insult is that
you never supported
me. You didn't
have my back.
You never reached out to me.
I had your back. I'm in here because I had your back.
Right.
You didn't even reach out, bro.
You know, it's almost like you hear in Jay-Z's music all the time. It might have been Emery or somebody, but basically there was one dude out the clique. It was like Jay, Emery, and like Biggs or whatever. And when the shit popped off for Jay, one of them was locked up.
Right.
Like doing like a 10-year bid.
Yeah.
But all through Jay-Z's early music, he talks about what he's gonna do for homie once homie get home. Right? Like, you know, how he's gonna put him on. We got you out here, et cetera, et cetera. And then homie gets out, and then of course Jay does exactly what he's supposed to do, puts the homie on. Right? Like, you know, sets him up. Like, that is what I feel like Dame wanted from Adonis. Right?
Yeah.
Like, you can go be the star, but like, we should have conversation. We should have rapport, right? Like, you know, we supposed to be brothers, and you forgot about me. And the thing is that they kind of put the blame on Mama Creed, which is like, you know, he was writing and Mama Creed was hiding the letters, which I want to know more about.
Yeah,
you know, like if Dame was close enough to refer to her as Mama Creed,
come on, man,
and know her address, right? Like, what was their relationship that, like,
and Mama Creed knew him.
And Mama Creed knew him. Knew him well enough to not only keep the letters from them, but hold them for years. Like, she went exactly to where the letters were, right?
Yeah.
So there's a closeness here, right? Like, you know, I'm sure Dame spent the night at Mama Creed's house.
Right.
You know, there was a closeness here. So even despite the fact that Mama Creed hid the letters, that was still on Adonis to not forget about this guy. He didn't even need the letters to reach out or be curious.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
Thank you. So, what happens I told you that Dame says, "Hey man, I wrote you some letters. You never responded. That was whack." And so some people were saying, I've been talking to people already about this film. They're like, "Man, he was a kid." Nah, okay, he wasn't a kid. After 5-6 years after that, he was 20 something.
Right.
And he was an adult.
He was an adult.
I remember I lost it when I was in middle school. A lot of my homies moved out the hood. My cousin, of course, he's my cousin, so I kept in contact with him. And my auntie moved my cousin out the city, out of LA. And then my other homeboy, my partner, his mom moved to Colorado. You know what I'm saying? We in 8th grade or 7th grade. And he disappears. And I talked every now and then. I had his number when he got there. We talked every now and then, but after a while, we just stopped talking.
Yeah.
And then fast forward to, I go off to college. This is maybe 4 or 5 years later. And I come back to the hood on like a Christmas break or something like that. And I reach out. I wonder what's up with my homeboys, my boy Clark, Rashad, and all them dudes.
Right.
And now I'm a freshman in high school. I mean, college. Back then, I wasn't even in high school yet. Last time I saw him
when they left, right?
So let me just go reach out. I reached out to the homies. You know what I'm saying? So as a grown man, when I had my own car and I had a little bit of bread to move around and travel, I reached out to them. I went back to their houses to find out, to get their numbers from my boy's mom and stuff like that. So there's ways. You know what I'm saying? You know where he at? He in prison.
Right.
You know where to find him. He ain't hard to find.
Yeah.
So the fact that he didn't, and they tried to make that scene where the mom's character hid the letters from him, that's whack. For one, that's whack on her part.
Right.
And I feel like as a grown woman, she should have handled that better.
Yes.
Knowing, and then that scene should have been stronger. This is what we do. We busting down films, man. BlackBusters is a movie review podcast, and we got to review this movie, good and bad.
Right.
Or not necessarily bad, but just, critiques and compliments, all that. I feel like there's a scene where the mom finally, after it's halfway through the movie, she brings out these letters and she shows Adonis these letters. And it's like probably a dozen of them.
Yeah.
Maybe a few of them. He might have been writing them once a week or something like that with pictures and stuff like that. And like, man, pictures of him growing up. So he's been writing them letters since they was kids, because there's a picture in the envelope where he's a grown man now. He's shaking hands. He's doing the prison poses with the homies.
Yeah.
He's just showing them like love. Like, hey man, this is me how I look now.
Right.
He grew up over the years. It's like his mom had like a big box, like a little lunch box full of letters. Might have been probably dozens and dozens and dozens of letters. You know what I'm saying?
Think about what Dame must have been going through to keep writing.
Man. To keep writing.
Right?
For years, bro.
For years. Writing this man.
Unanswered.
And I watched every single one of your fights
from prison
in there. So imagine Dame, on the yard or in the block saying, "That's my guy.
Yeah.
That's my boy." Writing letters
That's
to
my
him.
brother.
That's my brother.
Yeah.
Writing letters to him over the years, right? And not getting any response.
No response back.
So it's you a fan of him, you love him like brothers, and this motherfucker's ignoring you.
He's ignoring you, bro.
He's ignoring you.
So that scene where Adonis comes to his mom's house, he's in her kitchen. He asks us, "What's these?" He's looking at all these letters on the table that she's looking at. He's like, "These are from Damian." He was like, "What you mean from Damian?" And he said, "You held these from me? You kept these from me?
Yeah.
All these years?" And she was like, "Yeah, I did." "Why? To protect you. Protect me from what?" "From him, from the streets, he was like, then he said this, you made him think I abandoned him."
Yes. But you did.
I'm like, hold on, man. To me.
You did.
To me, that's not a good line in the dialogue.
Right.
You made him, by holding these letters, Mom, these for 18 years, you made him think I abandoned him because these letters I never got to read. So basically he's saying, if I got to read these letters, I would have responded back to him.
Right.
No.
Nope.
That's not how it works.
Nope.
Even as a young boy, you can write a letter.
You had already abandoned him.
You can, yeah.
You had already.
Yeah.
You tried to not remember the situation.
You're more guilty than the mom is.
Yes.
The mom is being the mom. She's trying to protect her son from the big homie.
It makes sense.
A bad influence.
Makes
sense. So I get her. She's still shady for that. Because knowing where Adonis came from and knowing where Damian came from, they came from the same place, same upbringing. And she probably wasn't thinking about this, but you got to look at these boys, man. A lot of these boys don't be having dads, mothers, families, and she knew that about him.
Yeah.
So when I was looking at all these letters this young man is writing to my son, I got to find a way. Even if I mediate, I got to find a way to try to reach out to this boy. He's writing letters, bro. Ain't too many young 19-year-old boys. I mean, of course, I'm sure it's a lot more than I think because it's in prison. He's got a lot of time to do all kind of shit. Right. But he's writing these letters to a person. He's reaching out, and she probably read. She opened them. She read these letters, bro.
Yeah. And probably had Dame's character revealed to not be a bad person. Right. And it's like, okay, you had enough heart for Adonis, but you didn't have enough heart to look after this kid who knew your home address.
Knew your home address.
Who knew enough to call you Mama Creed. Right. Like, so there's a relationship there. Fast forward just a little bit. Like, I kind of feel like Adonis is really shady in this movie.
Come on, man.
I feel like it's like he's really shady because so Jonathan Majors, Dame gets into the gym. He gives him a shot. Come work out to the gym. We'll set you up to train with Duke. Duke doesn't really like that, but it's happening. This is my guy. This is my boy. I'm making you. And I feel like Adonis, like, low-key sets him up to take the L. Because
Who, Adonis?
Yeah.
Damian?
When he sets him up to fight the champ, the Mexican homie.
Right, okay,
right? Like, you know, in the championship.
Yeah, Felix Chavez.
Yeah. Which is like inexplicable that he would get that shot. But like, let's just say you suspend all that belief. You low-key feel like he's like his investment is in Felix. Right. Like he
as it should be.
As it should be. And kind of wants or expects Dame to take the L. Don't even really have his back. Like, you know, when he goes in and does the pre-fight as a promoter does, you can just tell he's got all his chips into Felix. He's sitting with Felix's family, you know, and then kind of comes in like, you know, like almost like this absolves me. The fact that I got you this shot, I expect you to take this L, and that'll make things right with the fact that I basically ignored you for the last 18 years.
Here's the thing. I get that. I don't think that – I think he should have been invested in Felix Chavez more. That's his fighter. What does that say to Felix? And all of a sudden, this dude comes back. Oh, I know he's your homeboy from back in the day, but now you about to root for him now? You've been training me. I'm part of your camp. I'm signing you. I'm signing your promotion. You gotta. He's not signing your promotion. I know he's your homeboy, but this is business. So I'm okay with. I don't think he's shady for siding with Felix because dude asked for the shot. I don't think, bro. You're not even a fighter yet. You're not even a pro. I'm about to get you in there and fight Chavez. You might fuck around and get beat up. And lose and really mess your chances up. So if anything, he twisted his arm, man. Give me a title fight. Give me a title fight. So I don't think he's shady for that. I'm still tripping off him not reaching out. Because that scene could have been so much stronger had he said, you made him think I hated you. I abandoned him. And there should have been conversation about, no, bro, you abandoned him on your own. Or maybe the wife says it or something like that. Or even there was never a conversation between Adonis and Damian about, hey, bro, Mama Creed, I never got your letters, bro. So don't hate me for ignoring you. I never got your letters. I didn't ignore you because my mom, she confiscated, she intercepted all the letters that were coming. And so I never got to read one letter, so I never knew that you reached out to me. Damian's response should be, that's cool, I get that. That's out of your control. You didn't know that was happening. You didn't know mom was shady and was taking the letters. What that got to do with you?
What that got to do with you?
Initializing contact for 18 years. Maybe not 14, 15, 16. I get it. Maybe you might be too scared to walk into the prison because you know you ran that night. I get it. That could be your excuse at 19, 20. What about 23, 24, 25, and now you're 30-something years old? You never reached out, bro?
And we wasn't just homies.
Nah, bro.
We was brothers.
So that I don't buy that in the dialogue. They should have made, to me, Adonis and Creed 3 was whack. He didn't deserve to win. He wasn't. He didn't. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And I still think he was shady for putting Dame in the match with Felix.
Really?
And the reason being is that like, what was his primary motivation? The money. He couldn't lose the date on the venue. He had to fight a fighter. You know what I mean? For Felix to continue. And it was just like, I'll throw this guy in.
That's begging me to do it though.
Yeah, that's begging me to do it.
It wasn't his idea. He wasn't like, hey.
But if he had the right mindset, if he really was looking out for Dame, he'd be like, Dame, and Dame was clear. Man, like my time is now. I got to catch up on short time. But if he was really looking out, like Felix is supposed to be like the pound for pound best fighter in the world,
which is far fetched.
Which is far fetched. But we're supposed to believe that he is,
of course.
That he's he's like the Canelo. You know what I mean?
Right.
In this universe, why would you throw your boy fresh out, no warm up fight? Directly to the wolves.
Because he's telling me because I've known him my whole life as a youngster, and I knew how dope he was.
Yeah. And he expected him to lose.
And he was like, well, here's the thing. He said, I want a shot. I didn't say make me champion.
Yeah.
Put me in the ring with the champion so I can take my
Give me a shot.
And as a boxer, as a fighter, hey, bro, if you tell me like, yo, job, man, I want to fight. I said, I want to lose, but I just want to get in there and prove myself.
Right.
And if I don't make it, I don't make it. But that's up to me. Once I get in the ring, you've done your job.
As my homie though, like let's say, all right, so you do content online, right? Video content. And let's say I come to you and I go, John, like, I'm about to take all my money. I'm about to liquidate my savings account, and I'm gonna come up with my own cuddle season, my own series or whatever.
Right.
And you kind of like, okay, like, you know me, we have history, but you know that like I'm about to take an L. Despite the fact that I'm telling you I want to do this, I'm passionate about it. I've been around you. I'm watching you do it. I've been kind of scripting my own stuff or whatever, and I'm going all in. I'm betting all in on this. You know what I mean? And you don't say, Tone, like, let me help you. Like, I know you want it now. I'm in a position. I'm speaking in your voice.
Yeah.
I'm in a position to help you. Let me teach you a couple of things about shooting. Let me connect you with a couple of people.
Right.
It almost, you'd be a better friend to me, despite what I want and what I'm begging for. You're in a position to help put me on by bringing me along slowly than watching me take my whole shit and put a series out that fucking flops. And then you could be like, you know what I mean?
If you putting heavy pressure on me to the point where it's uncomfortable, and
you're going to let me do what I want to do.
And the difference is, Tone, you was the best filmmaker I knew back in the day. Hey, bro, I still got it, bro. I still got something in the tank, man.
Right.
Let me give me. It's a budget out there for $800,000 to $1 million. Let me do a film. Let me do a feature. I said, but you never done a feature before, bro. You just been doing sketches and short films.
Right.
I know, but I won so many awards as a short film director. I could make a feature, bro. Trust me, bro. I'm begging you. I don't have that much time. I need this now.
Right.
I don't need no tune-up fights, bro. I don't need to do no more shorts.
I don't need to do no more sketches.
At the end of the day, last time he saw Dame, he was the best in the game.
Yeah.
So I don't know what he been doing. He said he kept himself in shape. So who's to say that now he's still not the best?
Right.
So he was like, he says, but I was the best. You was the best.
Yeah.
But I just never got a chance to prove that.
Right.
Give me my opportunity to prove it. And as a fighter, as my boy, I'm letting them fight. But here's the thing.
I get that. Yeah.
It's equivalent to my boy saying, on one of my homeboy, I got a partner, right? When I was in high school, at the time, he probably was one of the best athletes I've ever seen.
This makes sense.
He was good. He was great in football. He was fast. His routes was crispy. He had great hands. He played basketball. He could dunk. He could do all kinds of stuff in the 8th grade. He was like 6 feet, 5'11", and he was doing all kind of stuff. He ended up being like 6'1" in high school, but even in college, in high school, he went for 1,000 his last 2 years. You know what I'm saying? And on varsity, and he didn't go to college. He went to junior college, right? Then he got a girlfriend from high school, and then they had a baby. He started gaining weight, moving in with her. He then got big. He ballooned up to like 250.
Right.
He went from like 185 to like 250. So now he was like, bro, I'm gonna play football at fullback in college. Now I think you was a receiver, bro. You ain't no fullback. That ain't you.
Right.
You done got big. You done got chubby. Anyhow, he lost a lot of that weight. And what if he was like, yo, bro, I want to come walk on to your college.
Yeah.
I got accepted. But I'm gonna
talk to the coach.
Talk to the coach, bro. I'm like, bro, you ain't been. This is D1. Is college football is different. It's different. It ain't high school, bro. It's much faster. Everybody nice here. There's a lot of U's here already.
Yeah.
A lot of. He played both ways too. He played pause. He is a receiver and a DB. He's a corner.
Right.
Just like Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
But I remember how good he used to be. He was a D1. He was a D1 recruit type athlete. Okay. For sure. Definitely 4-star recruit. Maybe not 5, but 4-star. And if he went to a certain type of school, he could have been 5. You know what I'm saying? Because he ran a 4.4 in high school.
He was nice.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? So, but I think he got washed up over the years. He gained weight, played a little JUCO ball. But let's say he was like, bro, I'm down to 200, bro. I'm running the 4.5.
I'm ready.
And my hands still there. You know I can play. Tell coach, you can get me out. You can get me a tryout.
Yeah.
I could be like, bro, come on, man. This is D1. This is Pac-10, homie.
Yeah.
I remember, and he's begging me for it. He said, bro, I'm 20-something years old. I'm already past
the age. You got to give him the invite and let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah, and if he don't make it, he get cut.
Yeah.
He going to play at least.
It makes sense.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
a little different, man.
Yeah. I mean, Adonis was not promoting Dame. Dame was not Dame was not Team Adonis.
Right.
So it wasn't like, I'm developing you. Even though he said, like, I'm going to put you in and get you with the trainer of everybody that I develop. So in one sense, he was a part of the camp. It just almost was very convenient, like, Michael B. Jordan, I don't believe, thought Dame had a chance to win.
Right.
And was disappointed that Dame won. Was not happy for Dame.
He demolished his champion.
Yes.
So that means, and he's not signed.
Yep.
So I think he did think he had a chance because he was even talking to Felix. He was like, bro, I mean, he said, your boy's not even a pro. Yeah, man, but he's going to fight tooth and nail.
Mm-hmm.
He wants this.
Yeah.
So he not, so.
But this is better for you because we're going to beat him.
Right.
Like,
he going to put on the show.
He going to put on the show, but you're going to fuck him up.
Easy win. Right. But you're going to win because that's what you do.
Mm-hmm.
You undefeated and all that. So I don't think he expected Dame to win, but he knew it wasn't going to be a rollover.
Right.
And so when he demolished, it wasn't a split decision. It wasn't a majority decision. It was a knockout.
Knocked him out.
Yeah, he demolished. He ran through his champion, and now he's not even signed to Delphi.
Yeah.
And so even the conversation they had at the beach after the fight, he was like, "Bro, you think I need you now?"
Yeah.
Nah,
I never needed you.
When I first got out, when I first came home, yeah. And then maybe at the gym, I needed you then.
Yeah.
Now, I got the belts. Yeah. I'm the champion.
I'm the champ.
I don't need you now.
Yeah.
So he's not signed. So he's not gonna make no money off of Dame. After that one fight, it's done. So now what you left with? You left with a beat up champion that's no longer champion.
Yep.
And the new champion ain't fucking with you.
Right.
So it's like he was in a bad spot.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that scene real quick.
The beach scene?
The beach scene.
Okay.
When he walked up to the beach where Damian won the championship, he got all the belts at the beach, and he got this beach party, like 40 to maybe 100 people there.
They was chilling.
Playing big music, jumping around, bonfire, all that stuff. He pulls up, and he's trying to walk up on his homeboy, because at this point it ain't nothing hostile.
Right.
I got you what you wanted. You got what you wanted. That's dope. Remember, dude stops them from walking up on him.
Yeah,
bro. Yeah. Why you? And it makes sense. Why are you walking up? Why you stopping me from walking up to my boy? We just made some money together.
Yeah.
I gave him an opportunity. I maybe come over to celebrate. That to me that makes sense.
Unless Dame's crew, because Dame gets the shot because he sent his homie to the party to slash.
So maybe
Drogos.
they're in.
So everybody
which
there.
Is another thing we should talk about.
Yeah, everybody there is in on the hustle.
Right.
And
true. Okay.
You know what I mean? And knowing
now that we got away with the belts, now it's F you.
Now, now we don't need them.
Yeah.
We don't need them.
I get it.
And we all playing the role to get you to this point.
Okay.
Right?
You're right.
And obviously Dame's got people on the team to put in work.
Right.
He's clearly thought about this for years.
Yeah.
This is what the plan is going to be.
Yeah.
Right? Like, now he took advantage of the opportunity to get invited, to the party. But even if he was at the party, he knew his boy was going to slash the wrist. He knew that Michael B. Jordan was going to owe him, or feel like he needed to owe him. So he's just executing his plan. Yeah.
Yeah. So he socks the dude out on the beach, and the other dude pulls a gun on him, and then obviously Damian is like, "Nah, man, don't do that. Give me that gun, bro."
Yeah.
They have a conversation. And he shows him, I know what you did. I see the homeboy in your picture. That's the dude that broke Drago's hand, and you shady for that. You know what I'm saying? You cheated, blah, 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 blah. And they have an argument. They have words. Damian's like, don't forget who put gloves in your hand. You used to carry my bag, bro. Imagine being locked up for 18 years, watching somebody live your life.
Great line.
Which is a great line. I love
great
that.
Line.
And that should have been the scene. That should have been that scene once again. They dropped the ball on making that scene more strong.
Yeah.
Because Adonis should have said, "Hey man, this so you know, the letters you sent me, I never got them.
Yes,
my mom kept them from me, so I never got them." That would have probably instantly he still not erase everything. That erase all the resentment and the pain and the frustration and the hate that and the disdain that Dame had for Adonis. But it could have been like, oh okay, so it ain't that he ignored me.
Right.
He still should be pissed off. His response should be, bro, fuck them letters, bro. You still never seen me on your own. You're making it seem like we didn't talk because you didn't get the letters because your mom kept them.
Right.
We didn't talk on top of that before the letters because you never reached out. You never sent me no letters.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Out of all this time, you never thought about me.
And that's when he's like, bro, the same line he said to his wife about why he didn't reach out to Dame.
Yeah.
He should have said that to Dame.
Yes.
Now, here's the thing. Some people might say, oh, no, well, that's okay. There would be no more animosity. There would be no more fight. Dame still keep like, I hear all that, and against his better judgment, he's still like, man, fuck you still. I got these belts.
Because that's what in some parts...
I hear you and I forgive you, but I ain't forgot.
That's why some parts the movie doesn't work, because we never understand why the two need to fight. They never establish why they need to fight.
It's not established,
right?
Bro.
Like, why does Michael B. Jordan feel like he has to fight Dame? Right?
As opposed to sitting down and talking to him and apologizing and purge everything. Even the things. Talk? Yeah, bro. I was afraid. I got used to just thinking that I forgot. It was easy to think that I forgot. Out of sight, out of mind. I had this new life.
Yeah.
I started excelling in boxing, and I'm gonna keep it 100, bro. I didn't hear from you, and you didn't hear from me because I was young and dumb. And even when I got older, I had not talked to you for so long. I might have been a little shameful,
right?
And that even made me maybe not want to reach out again because I'm embarrassed. Same reason why a dad who wasn't in his son's life,
right? Don't know how to reintroduce himself.
Now his son's 15. Last time you saw him, he was 5. 10 years in past. Now he's like, bro, now I got to come with the super humble, and I'm not man enough to humble myself in front of my son. I don't think Adonis was man enough to be like, bro, I know I ain't talked to you since I was 15.
Yeah.
Now I'm 20.
Yeah.
It's been 5 years, bro. I apologize, bro. How you doing, man? How much time you got left? Well, hey, this is my, I made pro. I'm blah, blah, blah. He should have did that at 20.
Right.
At 15, you might say, okay, he was young, you didn't have the resources or the maturity. But at 20, ain't no reason. That's why this character, Adonis, this season, this episode, I mean, this part 3, I don't really feel Adonis as a character. I don't care for him to win. I don't care that. Of course, they showed us he's a good father,
and I thought that like
him as an overall character, he's a sucker.
I would have gotten. It sounds harsh. I don't think we needed the daughter. We could have used that time to spend more time focusing in on Dame and Adonis. Yeah. Right? The daughter establishes that he's got other stuff kind of going on with his life, but we spend a lot of time with his daughter, and ultimately she's non-consequential to anything that matters, right? He's not fighting for her.
She's not abducted.
Yeah, she's
held for ransom.
Yeah, she's got an amazing life. It is what it is. She don't need to be there. That doesn't make sense. The first fight, they bring her, ringside. And Dame whips on Felix so bad that the wife has to take her away.
Take her, okay?
But then they have her front seats when he's fighting.
Watch her father potentially get his ass whooped.
So it doesn't make any sense, right?
It doesn't make any sense. Real quick, another nonsensible moment scene is where the daughter's coloring and the girl comes up and rips her paper. That's normal. Kids do dumb shit like that. And then she fires on her. Great job. I was very satisfied when that happened. Yep. Now, here's the thing. The girl didn't punch her, didn't put her hands on her, and so she put her hands on her. So technically, she's wrong.
Right.
If my daughter got suspended from school because a girl ripped her paper and she socked her, she's wrong for that, and she should be suspended.
Right.
What she should have did was go tell the teacher that she ripped her paper, and the guy girl would have gotten in trouble.
Right.
And she wouldn't have gotten in trouble at all. But because she socked her, she deserved to sit down. So I said, hey, check this out. Daughter, and when she get to the crib, I understand that you are upset when she ripped your paper and you punched her. And I'm not mad about that. I'm mad that you're missing out on school.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So, but that's neither here nor there. I want to talk about when they went to the school and they were talking to the teacher in sign language, and they were like, and he was like, why is my daughter the only girl in trouble? Why is another girl in trouble too? And the wife was like, hey, chill. No, what the fuck you mean chill? That's a great question.
Right.
He wasn't threatening nobody. He wasn't talking to the teacher crazy. He wasn't cussing. He was saying, my daughter messed up. She did something wrong.
Yeah.
It was a reaction. It was a reaction to something else another girl in the class did wrong. That girl should be in trouble too. Her parents should be here too. Right. Why is she picking on my daughter? And the teacher's like, hey, because I think she wants attention. Well, let's give her some attention. Let's get her parents in here and talk about it, because what my daughter did was wrong.
Yeah.
What your daughter did was wrong too. How can we prevent this from happening again?
And my only thought with that, everything that you said is 100% spot on. I don't disagree with anything. I feel like none of this shit was consequential to the movie.
Of course not.
We didn't need it at all.
Of course not.
We didn't need it at all.
What they were trying to do was build a wedge between the couple.
Yeah.
Adonis and this girl, his wife, because now they got something to argue about. They could have been arguing about him closing up and not talking about the group home.
Yes.
They didn't need the daughter.
Yes.
The daughter was cool. I think she was adorable and all that. And she wants to fight, but the mom don't want her to. It'll be our little secret. Those scenes were not necessary, and we should have dealt more with the Damian and the Adonis shit.
Yep.
And when the wife was like, "You gonna have to open up to me eventually," and he was like, "I don't want to talk about that shit.
Yeah.
I want to forget it." I love that scene. I wish he would have gave me a little bit. I wish he would have gave me a little bit more. Sometimes my boy Michael B kind of like falls a little flat on the overly emotional scenes,
right?
Because I feel like he went from I'm trying to, hey, no, let it lie. And he kind of went back to normal too soon.
Yeah. You know
what I'm saying? It was like almost like performance and scene.
Yep.
As opposed to like real frustration. Living in it.
Right.
Almost about to break down in tears. Because I wanted them to discuss more about the group home.
Yes.
So Leon, he beat on us, and that's why I whooped the shit out of him when I got 15, 14. As opposed to like one time I seen him burn one of the kids with an iron. I thought this dude was like, he'll get coked up and come home and start beating up on us. And one time, it should have been.
I thought he was molested.
I did too.
It would have made more sense.
I'm glad he wasn't though.
I'm glad he wasn't.
But
it would have made more sense. Why this is this taboo subject, right? Like, and then,
or at least attempted to.
Right.
I woke up one morning. I woke up in the middle of the night. He was on top of me.
That makes more sense of why like that whole thing needs to be forgotten. Like the shame, like Dame saw him touch me. Dame had to defend me. But that whole, everything associated with that is the black hole that I don't want to remember it at all.
Oh, he used to whoop my ass.
Right.
So
like, you know what I mean? That. Like, not that like getting your ass whooped as a kid is not a traumatizing event.
It is.
But it just didn't, his.
Why couldn't you share that with your, hey, so I used to be violently abused by my foster father. He used to make me
fucking fight. You know what I mean? He used to beat on us.
He used to get drunk.
Physically abused.
And make us fight each other or else he would beat us up.
Yeah.
I hated those moments, so I tried to forget it. I'm sorry.
Doesn't seem like that heavy a lift.
Right. To discuss it, you've been through this, you've been with this woman for at least 6, 7, 8 years.
Yes.
Come on, man.
And you can't talk about that.
Right.
Right. That's the thing. That's what I'm like.
I feel like we should that period in your life should have been heavier. And on top of that, I feel like what coulda, shoulda, of course.
Yeah.
The characters should have been a little bit more complex when it came to Dame and Adonis as youngsters. There should have been something even before he turned his back on them in prison. Excuse me. It should have been a situation where they had when he first saw that gun in the locker room before the fight at the beginning of the movie. He should have said, "Bro, what you doing with this gun?
Yep.
Yo, Dame, what's up with the gun, bro? We don't need that. We fighters, bro." And he was like, "Bro, this is the case. You never know, man. This nigga's out here tripping. So, bro, that's stupid, man. You can hurt yourself. You can hurt somebody.
Right.
Hey,
something
man,
like that.
Hey, little homie.
Yeah.
Focus on being in my corner, man. Don't worry about that. I'm doing my thing. I'm grown.
Yep.
You still a kid. You don't understand. It should have been a more uncomfortable conversation between big brother, little brother,
about
and
the
then
gun.
foreshadow that moving forward." That gun is going to be his demise. Not his demise, but it changes his life.
The thing that like also leaves a little bit to be desired about this movie is the pace. It moves really fast.
Yeah.
Like everything happens really fast. The one thing that we could have missed was like, once Dame becomes the champion, the montage of him having 3-4 fights, knocking fools out.
Thank you.
Right? Like,
Thank you.
And the whole time calling out Adonis.
It slowly but surely gets there. Adonis is like, he just starts working out more.
Yeah.
And the wife is like, what you doing? Like, I'm just trying to stay in shape. But in the back of his mind, he sees that the homie's changing on him. The homie's going to start calling me out.
Yeah.
The homie's going to start getting curious. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm the big homie, and I used to have it all. Now,
if we had seen that, the interview where Dame basically says, I was always better than Adonis.
Yes.
I was always better than him. He was never as good as me. And the reason why you ain't heard of me till now is because of him. He's the reason why I've been gone, because I looked out for him.
Yeah.
These are reasons for Adonis to come out of retirement to fight.
Yeah.
Right? Now Adonis has to answer the question of who's better. See, these guys fight in the end, and it seems like the fight should be who's better.
Right.
But it wasn't even about who's better. I don't even know why these two niggas had to fight. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Because Dame didn't seem like he had an axe to grind against Adonis as a fighter. Right? And Adonis didn't seem to have, the underdog feeling against Dame. So why did these two guys have to fight?
And we didn't even see that Dame was that good. He dirty boxed Felix Chavez, which is cool.
Right.
Which is cool.
Right.
And he beat him up, but okay, maybe that was a fluke. Let's see him beat 2-3 more fighters up, and over the course of a year and a half, he calls them out.
Yeah.
You could fast forward a year and a half in the film.
You could spend that much
time. What I'm saying?
Yep.
Hey, bro. Hey man, you looking good out there, bro. What's up, champ? Hey man, you know what I'm saying? I kind of feel away, man, because you gave your belts up.
Right.
And I feel like I ain't the real champ until I beat the real champ.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Something like that.
And so, but I get it. I feel like it was a good movie, but the writing could have been stronger. It could have been a stronger script that kind of that pulled us in. I was engaged because of the performances, but I wasn't engaged by story. You know what I'm saying?
It was hard for me to not compare because of how the first two Creeds have gone. I compared this to Rocky 3 and Clubber Lane, right? Like to me, to me, the way that they rolled out Dame was like, okay, they're gonna roll it out like Clubber Lane, right? And in Rocky 3, Clubber Lane spends months antagonizing Rocky.
Yeah.
Months showing up at Rocky's press conferences, meanwhile knocking fools out. So Rocky had to, and then he loses to Clubber Lane early in the movie, right? And then when Rocky gets with Apollo is the one that helps him get his mojo back, so that he comes back and then ends up beating Clubber Lane for the rematch, right? Paced really well. So like, I think that a cooler way for this movie to end is if Adonis had lost.
He should have lost, bro. And he deserved to lose because he ran from his homeboy and he never went back to talk to him. He never went back to reach out to him.
Yeah.
He's not wrong for Damian pulling the gun out. That's Damian's fault. But he ran and never talked to him ever again.
Here's what should have happened. Despite all the other ridiculous shit, Dame whoops the shit out of Adonis at the end of Creed 3. Creed 4 picks up. Where does Adonis go? He goes and finds Rocky.
Boom.
You know what I mean?
Boom.
Help me train.
Yeah.
Help me. And then Creed 4 is the rematch.
I wonder if that's the reason why Sylvester Stallone was not in 3.
Yeah.
He possibly didn't like the script. I'm gonna try to research that. I wonder if that's the reason. And if that's the case, I get it.
Yeah.
The script wasn't that strong. It should have been. It should. I don't even know. I don't really care to see a 4.
I don't even know where they go. I don't even know where they go with it.
Yeah, like
I don't even know where they go with it.
But had Adonis lost, and had we built up more animosity, I feel like there wasn't him neglecting him for 18 years.
Yeah,
that's enough animosity for him to want to come out and beat him up.
They basically wasted the most interesting character in the whole series with Dame. Right? Like, you could have done a 2-movie arc.
He became
with
champion
Dame.
Too soon.
Became champ, and he's the most interesting. Like the other fighters that Adonis fights are not interesting characters. Right? Like, the first guy is just a champ. He's the champ. It is what it is. The second guy has the backstory because it's Drago's son, and and they're fighting back for Russia. He's a little bit more interesting. But out of all the fighters, out of all the opposition, you could have spent the whole Creed 3 building up to this fight between the two, have Adonis lose, and then I cannot wait to see Creed 4. But to your point, I don't even know what they do with Creed 4 if I'm interested.
I agree. I think that Adonis and Damian should have been brothers in the group home, and I think they should have fell out before Adonis went to school, and Damian went to prison because the reason why you didn't come see me is because we wasn't homies no more.
Yeah.
Something happened to where he was like, man, get the fuck out of my face, man, before I shoot you, or some shit like that. To where Adonis and Dame are no longer friends before he goes to prison. And so, or something happens in the group home, something happens on some street shit where they're no longer friends, and he's trying to forget Dame. Yeah. And so when Dame comes back out, he was like, hey man, I want to see you made champion and all that. That's great. I'm proud of you. But I've always been better than you. Yep. And now I'm back here to prove it. Yep. I'm saying, well, shit, you're gonna have to work your way up the ranks. That ain't no problem. And he come back and he's knocking niggas out first round. So every 3 months he's fighting. Yep. He's fighting 3-4 times over the year. Yep. You got it. He already ran through 3-4, and Canelo does that. So people do that. I mean, you get no damage, and he get out of prison and he's running through dudes like a madman. He's beating dudes that Adonis has never beaten, or he has beaten them, but the way he's beating them is Mike Tyson type shit. Yeah. Yeah. And now, bro. Now you gotta fight me. And he shouldn't have been retired. Adonis Creed shouldn't have been retired. And see, in Creed 3, he should have been the champion still. He should have been a comfortable champ, fighting once or twice a year. And just like the Clubber Lane and the Sylvester Stallone and the Rocky situation, I'm calling you out, bro. Anywhere you go, I'm going to be there. Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be there. I'm saying, you know me. And everybody knows I've always been better than you. I'm still better than you. Give it an opportunity to show that.
It makes sense. Like, have him show up at a press conference and accidentally knock, Mama Creed off the stage.
Something.
So now Adonis has to avenge Mama Creed.
Or talking about Tessa. Like,
disrespecting is which Clubber Lang did.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
don't get real, man.
Yeah, or say something, about his daughter. Yeah. Like, give Adonis a reason to want to fight.
On something. They used to be friends. Yeah, but that was a long time ago. We ain't friends no more. And they can become friends later, after the fact. And Creed could be like, Dan could be like, bro, I was just jealous, bro. I needed that fade. Yeah. And I beat your ass like I was supposed to, and I did. And you got back. He went back he got back grimy again. Yeah. He went back and got Sylvester Stallone. You know what I'm saying?
The movie ends flat because it's just like, I don't know what happens next with Dame. Does Dame keep fighting? Yeah. I mean, he was the champion. Right? Like, does he get picked up by a promotion? Does he still want to fight? Are people still interested in his fight? It's just like, I don't understand.
You got that chain?
Yeah. And then they open the door, if you ever need me, you know where to find me. It's just like, and then they have that speech where it's just like, I was never really mad at you. It wasn't on you.
Come on, man. Like,
it's like, well, what was all of this fucking for?
It was on him as a grown man. You was a kid, man. But what's your excuse when you turned 25? Yeah. You didn't come see me then? Yeah. You knew where I was at this whole time? Hey, bro, I'm sorry. I was a coward. Yeah. I got too comfortable in my new life. And you know what I'm saying? Have those moments.
And I know it sounds like we're critiquing. It's still a really good movie.
No, here's the thing. And that's what I'm saying. I said performance-wise, I dug it.
Yeah. It just story-wise, it could have been so much more.
I wish there was more scenes with Wood Harris, with Duke. There was more. There was the daughter stuff we could do without. Right. It wasn't necessary.
I mean, because Duke knew Dame from when he was a kid too.
There was no,
and they never bring that up.
He kept saying this dude. Like, you
know him.
You're immersed in this boxing game, and this dude was
watched him.
This highly touted dude.
Yes.
In the history of boxing.
Yes.
And you talking about this dude. Like,
he's not just some guy.
He should be like, hey man, this dude dangerous. He's been dangerous.
I know
he's your friend, or he used to be your friend, but you need to watch out. Don't let him in this gym, bro. Yeah. It should be more like,
I know him.
And it's just, Cherry Case, bro, don't. I know. He said, do you know I know this kid? Yeah. We know him. I know you, I know him.
I knew you, at one point and I knew him.
You couldn't stand, this dude's different. Yeah. Now, on top of this, with the 18 years in prison, on top of how dangerous he was as a teenager, this ain't a smart fight for Philly. I don't like it. This is our guy. Yeah. What happens if
just like some dude, like this dude.
Yeah.
Like they make, and this is like a decision that they make as a director. They 100% connect Adonis to Duke at the amateur fight.
Yeah,
they make eye contact.
Yeah.
Adonis knows who Duke is. You know what I mean? Like, knows that he kind of shouldn't be there, but they never bring any of that stuff out to play.
On, man.
So, like, all of this is because this movie could have been so much more than what it was. There's some really great parts about it. I love the action. I love the music. I love visually. It's dope.
Yeah.
It's awesome. But like
the training scenes.
Yeah. But the story could have been so much more.
Even continuing about the story, let's talk about the scene where they end up punching each other into like this ring,
quantum realm.
Where the quantum realm where there's nobody but them in there.
Right.
No dialogue, not 1 ounce of dialogue.
Didn't make
sense. It was like a 3 to 5 minute scene.
Didn't make sense.
No dialogue. Them just fighting each other. He punches. I know it's symbolic. It's parallels in there. Dame punches. Adonis into a cage, and now he's fighting the prison.
Yeah,
he was in prison for 18 years, and that's him fighting prison. That's his frustration there. He's beating up on Adonis on the cage.
Yeah,
and then Adonis punches him back, knocks him back into the corner where you see the old punching bag from the foster home.
Yeah.
He's fighting those demons.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I get the parallel, but it's not strong.
And it's unnecessary.
It's unnecessary. That's when y'all should talk. You left me in there.
Yeah.
You left me by myself.
Yes.
Instead, there was one scene, one part in that whole little area, that scene where Dame screams, ah! And then Michael B. Jordan's character, Adonis says, oh.
Yeah. Right.
I was like,
right. Right. And
that was your response to him doing that?
The most important fight, the lead up, the climax of this movie, we spend in the quantum realm. Like
with no talking.
With no talking.
Us just watching them basically fight with it's
right. And for Dame to be so vicious, we've seen Adonis get fucked up in the ring. Like, we've seen him get.
He's the least fucked up.
He's the least fucked up he's been.
He's sitting in the corner during the rounds like this.
Yeah. Right.
He's supposed to be
the least fucked up he's been.
He's supposed to be. You gotta pull him up. Don't stop the fight.
Yeah.
There should be a point where Wood's like, bro, I'm about to stop this fight. They go from round 1, 2, and 3 to round 11.
Yeah. We jumped to round 11.
Come on, bro. That was terrible. That was terrible.
Yeah.
And I'll say it with love and respect, bro.
Yeah.
Nah, man.
Could have been better.
Yeah. How do you do that and why do you do that?
Yeah.
It should have been better.
That's what it
Why
is.
was the fight between Dame and Felix Chavez better than the fight between Dame and Adonis?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he left.
Why did we spend more time on that fight? Like, in terms of screen time.
Yeah.
More screen time is with Dame and Felix than was with Dame and Adonis.
The dirty boxing he was doing on Felix, he's supposed to be doing the same shit, but worse.
Same shit,
elbowing him in the face, kicking him in the balls, kneeing him with his own knee.
Yeah,
like even like not biting him, but like even it's like punching his shoulder, doing the same exact shit.
It's supposed to
be
personal.
Worse. To the point, then even whispering to him, you know what I'm saying, this is what 18 years get you.
Yeah.
It was something.
You're never gonna be as good.
You'll
as
never
me.
be as good as me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You always gonna be that little boy holding my damn gym bag.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
It was something.
It missed it a little bit.
Yeah, a lot because it made me not love the film. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I liked it. I was entertained. Jonathan Majors, I think he was the perfect nemesis, and I think they missed the ball story wise to make him even more.
Yeah,
he wasn't like, he was supposed to be like Mike Tyson.
He was
Bane.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying. But
and you had the actor to pull it off.
Yeah, you did.
Like you had the guy right there that was available to give you more than what he did, and he already gave you so much. You know, as a character,
why is
squandered?
Why not? If these are basically Rocky films. Rocky cut his eyelid, dog.
Yeah.
To see through his eye because it was so swollen. How do you not get to that type of? There was a part in his sparring when he was more bloody when he was fighting Drago.
Yes,
he was more bloody.
He was
in that
more
fight
beat
than
up.
He was. I was like, come on, bro. You missed the mark, bro. And and here's the thing. As a filmmaker, bro, I have never shot a film that I have never shot a feature. So I know how tough, but I do know how tough it is.
Yeah.
Even the projects I've done myself, it's tough, long time, and it takes a long time, and you might not make every shot might not look like you want it to look. So with that being said, I respectfully, it's a critique podcast. It's a review podcast, and we're critiquing it, and we're nitpicking because when it's all said and done, it's a feature. It's his first. It's his first directing. His first film directing debut. Yeah. And I think overall he did a good job.
Yes.
Especially him being 100%. The lead, him acting and directing.
100%.
For sure.
100%.
So with that being, my statements still stand. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not sitting there saying I could do a better job. I feel like I want to believe I can in some way story wise, but because I would have went a different direction with the story. Yeah. But coulda, woulda, shoulda. I'm not there. I'm on the couch watching the game. So, but. Damn, it's just I wish that I was so excited to see this film.
That's what
and
it is.
I didn't leave here unsatisfied, but I didn't leave full.
Here's why we feel the way we feel. This movie was supposed to be a classic.
Yeah.
This movie had everything it needed to be a classic. 5 Fists, the greatest Black boxing movie ever.
Man.
It was right there. It was right there. Set up good with Creed. The first Creed is good. Second Creed, okay, good. This is supposed to be,
bring it back.
This is supposed to be the 5-star best one ever. And they had everything there that
Tessa
they
Thompson,
needed. They had everything.
Tessa Thompson, Jonathan Majors, Wood Harris. Yeah. And I want to know why Sylvester wasn't there.
You know,
because he was. I saw an interview. Yeah, and I don't remember everything he said, but I think he was unhappy with some things.
He was unhappy with the decisions. Yeah.
So he probably was like, "This doesn't happen." First of all, why did? And spoiler alert once again, like hopefully this should be paused. Hopefully, if you're still watching this episode, it's because you already watched the movie. Moms, why did Mama Creed die?
And that could have been, like I said, it could have been the press conference. If you remember Rocky 3, during Rocky 3, it's the press conference, and there's some hustling, and Mick gets knocked down in the press conference and like starts to have a heart attack, right? And it's that thing that makes Rocky want to fight Clubber Lang. Clubber Lang shows up, he's insulting his wife, "Would you come over and have a real man?" You know, he's doing all of that. But like when Mick gets knocked down and has the heart attack, now Rocky has something to fight for, to defend, you know, or avenge, you know what I mean? Like, you know,
now I'm about to whoop your ass.
Right. So like if something had happened and Dame, you know, shoves Mama Creed, and Mama Creed ends up having another stroke, now you have a reason for Adonis to get back in the ring and fight Dame.
When he was like, he called the Stephen A. Smith scene. Yeah. He called in, "You a coward." Yeah. Man, you know what I'm saying? Everybody know that you ain't loyal, blah, blah, blah. He said, "Ain't not here." "Nah, we doing it now, man. It's live." All right, it's what you want. It's what it is. I get that. Yeah. That could be strong enough. All right, now you're trying to embarrass me on public on national TV. Now it's on, I'm about to whoop your ass. I get that. That's cool. But it could have been done better. Yeah. I think instead of mom dying, unless is she not going to be in the franchise no more? Because if that's the case, you could just not have her. You just not put her that much in episode in part 4. Yeah. But before she don't have her die, it didn't make no sense. I think they had her die so she could have that conversation about, "I'm sorry." He can apologize. What is he apologizing for? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah. And then you know, the confusion between Apollo and Adonis, I get all that. Of that. Like that happens. I get it. That happens when you start hallucinating. Yep. You know what I'm saying? When you start losing your faculties. I get that. That makes sense. But this should have been the scene with her explaining herself further why she hit them letters. Yeah. And she knows now that was a bad idea. You know what I'm saying? Or something.
And we still don't know why.
And she can still, just because she felt like he was a bad influence, she found out that this guy, her son's best friend, pulled a gun out and got arrested.
She's trying to protect him from.
She was like, "Oh, he's a gun-toting hoodlum." Okay, so I don't want my son around him no more. Right? He would have because if I never would have got him out of the group home, like he said, if it wasn't for you, none of this never would have happened. And she's like, yeah, you're right.
Then why keep the letters?
Why keep the letters?
That's the part that doesn't make sense.
You was wrong.
You know, like,
so
you would have threw them away.
I've been doing some thinking. You would have got rid of all the evidence.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing some thinking. And I should have never, I thought what I was doing all these years was the right thing.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have held them letters from you. That was not my right. Mm-hmm. That was not. I thought I was protecting you, and I was. Mm-hmm. And I think I did.
Yeah.
At the same time, I kept them and showed you.
Yes.
Why would you write this?
Yes. Right.
I kept them till you was 30-something years old.
Mm-hmm.
I've kept these things for 15 plus years.
Yes. And
I finally showed you, and then he's apologizing to her. She should be apologizing to him.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing the best thing, and I think what I did turned out in your favor. Mm-hmm. I'm still sorry.
Yeah.
I'm still sorry.
Let's do some awards.
For sure.
We got to rate it.
Oh.
Who's your MVP?
MVP is Jonathan Majors.
Yeah.
For sure.
Hands down.
Yeah.
Hands down. He makes the movie. He makes the movie interesting.
Yes.
You know, most compelling character in the franchise, in my opinion.
Facts. The story was great.
Yeah.
The initial story, this is a childhood friend from the foster care from the streets that comes back to become your nemesis.
Like you said, the first act is perfect.
I think the first act was great.
First act, you know, it just kind of falls apart.
Yeah.
Who's your LVP?
I think we just said it. LVP was the daughter.
The daughter.
Yeah.
Unnecessary.
Yeah. She was adorable.
Yeah.
She did a good job acting as well.
Yeah.
But that part of the story was just I feel like that part of the story was just to get him and his wife to argue, which was not needed because they could have argued about her and him not telling her about the past, about him not telling her about Damian in the first place. How could you keep somebody your best friend? I've been knowing you for almost 8 years, and I don't know about this guy, and he gets out of jail after 18 years, and you still act like it's nothing.
Yeah.
Like
close second to me for LVP is Felix's mama.
Well, she needed somebody. I mean, let's say that conversation because he's like a momager. She's like a momager. Like you would sit down with not just the fighter, dude, the promoter and the manager, the promoter and the trainer.
Yeah.
I get it.
A lot of it was like telephone game. Like they would say the same thing, like, you know, like they both speak English, right? So like, you know, so like why are they speaking in Spanish?
All the homies I went to high school would do that all the time.
Right, you know.
Like mom come out and be like, hey, Jose, come here. Wait, didn't I tell you to take the trash out?
Yeah.
Mom, I forgot. They do it all the time.
My mom says that.
That's normal.
It just felt like he was like talking to Felix in Spanish. Felix would talk to Felix in English. Felix would talk to the mom in Spanish. She'd respond in Spanish. He'd then respond in English. Right? Like it was just like, but they all they all speak English. Like why are we just not speaking English here? It just felt like, you know, like
that part is nitpicky because I know that people talk Spanish speaking people talk in and out of the language in front of all the time.
Like if Felix didn't speak English, then she becomes 100% necessary to have the conversation and advocate for him. You know what I mean? Right. But like he speaks English.
But it wouldn't be the same.
I get
him
it.
Talking shit.
It needs to be authentic.
Him talking, I get it though. I liked her though. Yeah. I also I got I'm biased though. That's baby girl from Orange is the New Black.
Orange is the New Black.
I love her.
She's
character.
one of my. I love all them girls.
Oh man,
I love all the women.
Yeah,
from
I was so excited to see her. I was like, it's that baby girl
working.
Yeah,
working.
Ortiz, I think that was her name or something like that.
Any overacting awards?
Over. Jonathan Majors sometimes overacts.
Yeah,
but sometimes it's not overacting. Sometimes it could be
it's little subtleties.
When he got punched, he was like,
yeah.
But I can see some boxers could do that. That's just how they relax. That's how they regain focus.
Yeah.
So I took it as that. But so the only reason why I say that because I saw him I just recently saw him in another film, and he kind of made that same face, that same gesture, and it's a totally different character.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, okay, that's maybe that was his go-to look.
Yeah. Like his giggle, like, you know, like when he like kind of does that laugh thing in the middle of saying something serious or in a serious moment, like, you know, is another one of his kind of like go-tos.
Okay.
Where like, you know, but Overall, I'm not critiquing him at all.
He's no for sure.
Fucking strong.
And when it's all said and done, bro, he's a hammerhead. He's a monster, and I would love to work with him. I love to watch. I just love to watch him on screen. So I'm nitpicking for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm biased. West Coast accent. What up, homie?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, for real though. Oh, all right then. But here's the thing. That's how we talk. I get it. But when you hear people who are not from here do that, I'm biased because I know he's from Texas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So hearing him say, "Oh, all right, then."
Yeah.
Like that's how everybody we talk like that for
to
sure.
me, he's being true to the character.
Yeah. So, but because I know he's acting, it's super. It was super thick.
For me, the overacting award is Stephen A. Smith. How could it not be? Right? Like,
Brother Extra.
How could it not be?
Brother Extra.
Hold on. He's on the phone now?
Right now. Put him on right now.
Put him on. Right? Like,
he overacts every day.
Yeah.
Everything is amplified.
Yeah, it just is what it is. Before we get to the rankings, what would Creed 4 look like?
Creed 4. Here's the thing. He befriended all his nemesis. But so did Rocky though.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah.
Who do you get? I think you blew your wad, pause, with Drago. Drago's huge.
Yeah.
He's a Viking. So you're not going to get a bigger dude than that to fight him in the next Creed. And there's no Creed without Adonis fighting.
Yeah.
Is he retire after this?
Right.
Why does he come? Why would he fight after that? Who's there? Who's left? Because they made it seem like there was no other contenders in boxing, bro. In boxing, when you got a champion was Chavez, right? Champion, he was a champion, and he was supposed to fight Drago. Drago was at one point in time a champion, and I guess he was fighting for the title again. He had already lost to Adonis. Now they're saying when he decides to put Damian in the spot to fight, who's an unlicensed fighter from prison, who's 0-0 in professional boxing.
Yep.
He puts him there like there's no other guy other than Drago or such and such. He was like, it's two other options, and there's this guy, but one guy he's still coming off. He's still healing from his last fight.
Right.
So what happened to the top 10?
Yeah, the third ranked boxer is like, what the fuck?
Third, fourth, fifth ranked boxer.
Right.
What the fuck are we talking about?
Right. That this
That's
guy
what I'm
gets
saying.
a shot.
The writing.
Yeah.
Once again, either they don't know boxing, or they just say they know that's really what happens. Because let's talk about heavyweight division right now. Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, they fought 3 times. They should never fight again.
Right.
But there's Andy Ruiz out there. There's Anthony Joshua out there. There's Usyk out there.
Yeah.
I just named 4 top 10 contenders.
Right.
There's Choice. There's the youngster who is about to be the face of boxing. Jared Anderson, he's the heavyweight. It's like I just named, and I'm a boxing fan, right. I know, and that was all heavyweights. We're not even talking about middleweights or welterweights or junior welterweights. Heavyweights, there's guys there too.
Yeah,
there's guys there that can challenge Tyson Fury.
How?
And they know that, so they didn't have to get. And on top of that, why are these niggas heavyweights?
Yeah, they not.
Let's start there. Like, maybe Jonathan Majors and Michael B. Jordan got big enough, they could be 200 pounds. Because once you're 200, once you're 199 or something like that, you're a heavyweight.
Right.
So they might have gained weight, got muscular, but
but
they're still small heavyweights. Drago is a huge heavyweight,
right?
And Felix Chavez, that's Jose Benavidez.
Yeah.
He's a real fighter.
Right.
In real life, he'd beat the shit out of every nigga on.
Absolutely.
Even though he's a little dude. He's a welterweight.
Yeah, he's a welterweight.
He's a 147 pounder.
Yeah.
He might have, right now, I haven't seen him fight in a while. He might be at 154 now.
Might be walking around 155.
Yeah, 160.
Yeah.
But he fights at 147, and he might be fighting at 154 now. But he's a welterweight, or he's a junior middleweight. Why would you make this fighter a heavyweight fighter and he looks so small?
How do you get Bud Crawford on set and not give him some some lines or something, right? Like, you got Bud to agree to be on the set. Like, have him do something, have him say something, like, have him,
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh shit, there was Bud. You know what I mean?
He
Like,
had 1 or 2 lines.
Yeah.
He had 1 or 2 lines.
But he's
yeah, it's like, but he might have been there for 1 day.
Yeah.
And he might have been just, Bud wants to be in it. Let's throw him in there.
But give him something to do.
Yeah, I get it. That once again, we're nitpicking.
Yeah.
Once again, we're nitpicking. We said what we said about in our critiques.
Yeah.
And I stand by them. At the same time, it was entertaining. Where did we go? Episode 4, part 4. I don't think this. I'm not excited. I feel like whatever, if they do decide to do a part 4, I feel like it's gonna be so microwaved and so just manufactured out of thin air that it's gonna be so forced.
It's gonna be BS.
Yeah, bro. I mean, unless how many old stories, how many villains from the past are you gonna bring up?
The only other thing
this was the opportunity to do. Who's it? Because as of right now, there's nobody left to fight at heavyweight.
There's nobody left for him to fight.
So, and he's already old. He's already about to retire.
There's no reason.
Who's next to fight for a Dame or Adonis?
Yeah, you could have had 2 additional movies. The only thing that comes to my mind is so inexplicable. I don't even want to fucking share it with you. But it's like Adonis had Apollo had another son. Right? Like,
Othello.
Oh, yeah. Adonis and Othello.
Oh, yeah.
He had another son, and his son, and actually, he had a relationship. That would be the only thing. Brother versus brother. Which is what we just fucking did with Dame. So
yeah.
Wasted
opportunity, man.
Let's get to the awards, man.
Yeah.
How 1 to 5, how many Black Fists are you giving Creed?
3.
Yeah.
3 Black Fists.
3.
3 fists.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the number.
I think it's fair too.
That's the number. I will watch this movie again because I want to see Jonathan Majors in it.
Right.
And I like, again, I liked it, but it gets a 3 and it could have been a 5.
Yes. It should have been a 5.
Should have been a 5.
It should have been a 5.
And that's why it drops down from 4, because we reserve 4 for movies that we really liked, but they're just not classics. Right. This one,
not a classic, and it was okay.
It's a 3. It's a 3. And it could have been a 5.
Yes, it could have been.
God damn it.
Yeah. Just more dialogue, stronger dialogue. Like the mom could have been not on her deathbed, but she could have called him back to the house and explained to her, to him, what she was doing, what she thought, what she was thinking. On top of this, another thing. This is why it's a 3. Unless y'all can come on, not that y'all would, but like if I ever talk to somebody that was in the writer's room or one of the writers or one of the direct or talk to Michael B. Jordan, one day we will talk, and he might not like this interview, but it's fair, and I respect you for sure, and I commend you for directing it. At the same time, I feel what I feel, and I said what I said. But there's a scene where he says in the kitchen, and she was like, he was like, you made him think I abandoned him. He was my brother. And so he was family. And he treated me more like a brother than any of your 2 kids.
Yes.
Who are these 2 kids?
Yes.
Were they in episode, were they in part 1?
Yes. That's a great
Were they in
point.
part 2?
Great point.
Were they there at her deathbed when she was dying?
Were they at the funeral?
What are we talking about?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
So let me.
That's such.
I'm not his
point.
thing. I'm not. I'm not. I'm still a student of this art we call acting. I mean, writing and directing, screenplay writing. I'm not an expert like that, but somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. A writing coach or something like that. But that's just bad writing to me. That's just not. That's lazy because someone should have caught that. Unless I'm lazy as a listener and or a reader, and I missed something. Like this is like these two kids that she had was explained and shown to us before. Yeah. And then maybe I'm gonna have to go back and look at part 1. Maybe they were in part 1.
I never even.
But where are these kids at? And these are 2 kids right now. Your mom just passed.
Yeah. Where they at?
Where they at?
How come where they been?
Even if let's say they're grown and live on the East Coast.
Yeah.
They would come back for the funeral. They would come back and there would be a conversation. They would be at least showing them walking in and out the room, crying, holding each other, hugging each other. Where are these two kids?
I feel like it's just a big swing and a miss.
It's just they just throwing shit up there and just say, yeah, bro.
This movie was guaranteed to make money.
Yeah.
It was guaranteed to make
the hottest actor in
Michael
the game.
B. Jordan and Jonathan Majors. And it could have been a 2-movie like
situation.
They could have, spend the time. You're going to make your money.
Yes.
You're going to be profitable.
Right.
Right? Like there's no way that you can fail. And that could have been just an awesome 2-arc movie.
Yeah.
Just an awesome 2-arc movie. And I think probably like our rating is just the reflection of like the potential. It had so much potential, but ultimately fell flat.
Where the other two kids at? Adonis.
Yeah, right.
He's been more of a brother to me than any of your two kids in this house.
Mm-hmm. Where the two?
Man, she didn't. Yeah. And Adonis should have been called out on, hey man, you was grown for longer than you were as a kid since you met Adonis, since you met Diamond Dame, and you didn't go see him. What was your reason? And then he gave a kind of like a half-ass reason to his wife.
Yeah,
I just kind of got used to. It was easier to act like I forgot about it.
Yeah, that whole.
Why would you do that? Why would you forget about it?
And why it's not it was not in Tessa's character for her to encourage him to fight.
Oh. That's not. Thank you. When he was saying, he said, he's not going to stop. Stop what?
Right.
He's already champion.
Yeah. He's just talking shit.
Yeah.
Right.
He's not going to stop. What's up to you to make him stop?
Yeah. There's only one way for me to do that.
And I'm going to say this. Now, don't get it twisted, man. I promise you, I do this to myself. I'm not at the level of them. I'll make this disclaimer because I'm criticizing somebody that I aspire to be in that position one day.
This is fair.
But it's fair. Like I looked at some of the things, even on Cuddle Season, my most recent project, I look at some of my scenes, I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I kind of felt
I could have
tightened that up. I feel like my performance was a little flat in that scene. There's a scene where he was like, you're a good man. I don't know anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Said, I don't know anymore. And it had no feeling in it. It was just, I don't know anymore.
Yeah,
I get that because this homeboy from back in the day shows you that you was a buster, bro. You did some hoe shit, and now you question, damn, am I a hoe?
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah,
I get that. But we should have said, hey man, I'm starting to question me as a man. Like I left the homie on stuck. I left the homie on stuck back then, and even over the last 18 years.
Yeah.
And there should have been more conversation. Like, bro, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What can I do? What can I do to make up for it? Fight me, my nigga.
Yeah.
Fade me.
Yeah.
Catch fade.
Right.
Right here. No. In the ring, bro. I want that title shot. You got to give it to me.
Right. And,
something.
I mean, like if Dame started like pushing up on his wife.
Yeah.
Right. Or Dame did something that caused his wife's hearing to be even more damaged.
Something.
Right.
Man.
Like something. Like a reason to. There was no reason. So
yeah.
But the J. Cole verse was hot during the montage. So and Jonathan Majors was dope. But ultimately, it's a 3. We'll always have to wonder what could have been.
Yeah. True. Yeah. Love you, Michael B. Jordan. Love you, Jonathan Majors. Yes, sir. Man. Pardon me. That's it, y'all.
Yep. We hurt. Like
I'm more disappointed.
We disappointed.
And please go see the film. And I'm not just saying that I'm not even being paid to say it, nothing like that.
No,
it's definitely worth a watch.
Yeah,
and because y'all might, I pick apart films. That's why this is called BlackBusters. That's why this is the best movie review podcast in the world, Greg. Because we're gonna break it down. We're gonna bust the film down the best to the best of our ability. And I feel like we nitpicked and we broke it down,
but it was fair.
But I do believe we were fair.
It was
fair.
You
know what I'm saying? And go watch the film. Go support for sure. I saw it twice already, by the way. I'll see it again as well. Just because I did like the performances most of the time, and I love the beginning of it. I love what the story started off with. I love the story because part 1 and part 2, I never thought there was going to be a homeboy, a brother like character from back in the day before Adonis got with Mama Creed.
Yeah.
The fact that they brought that character to life, I was like, oh shit, that's super interesting.
Yeah. As a lover of film, I just want to watch because I just want to notice everything that Jonathan Majors did.
Yeah.
Like I just want to, I just
I want to watch this whole catalog.
I want to watch that character. I want to be around that character more.
Yeah.
That character is so interesting to me.
Yeah,
and so
man.
like I just want it. That's why I'm disappointed because it was such a miss.
And we also didn't talk about the fact that Jonathan Majors is a hoe ass nigga for. I mean, Damian is a hoe ass nigga for getting the prison homie to break Drago's hand just for opportunity.
Yeah,
you make it seem like the whole world owed you that, nigga. You made a mistake and it cost you a lot of time, and now you want to get your time back. You shouldn't have had that gun you shouldn't have had that gun in your bag, bro. That's your fault, dumbass nigga.
Yeah,
and you broke a nigga's hand. So he couldn't fight in the championship fight, so you could be in that position. That's whole shit, and he shouldn't be able to do this at the end.
Yeah,
that was you don't deserve that, bro.
We're not cool like that.
Yeah, they could have been cool, but he doesn't deserve because I know what he's capable of. He's the type of nigga that'll do some dirt. He'll break a nigga's hand to get into his spot.
Right,
that's a hater.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's a buster nigga. You know what I'm saying?
They needed more time. They
needed more time for us to like one of them better.
They needed more time to like if they had established a rivalry, right?
Yeah.
Like we already know that like maybe both of them could have been on the undercard. You know what I mean? Like that night, and so there's some sort of like rivalry, like it's big bro, little bro, but it's also this competitive nature between the two of them,
right? That
like monasticized over 18 years to become something else. But ultimately, like, what was it all for?
Right.
Right? Like what was it all for? And I've never had any Rocky movie, boxing movie end that fucking happy. Where like, the whole family inside the ring, you know what I mean? Like, play boxing and slap.
He was limping towards the ring.
Yeah.
He was limping towards the locker room of Damian.
Yeah.
He sat down. He was like, oh.
Yeah.
His ribs was toe up. Might have been cracked a little bit.
Right.
And then he walked up. When he left, he walked away perfectly. He got into the ring. He bent down to get into the ring to play with his daughter with no pain. He hit the ground, picked her up, got out the ring, walked out with no pain. It was just like, but here's the thing. That probably was a throwaway scene.
Yeah.
He's directing and acting. He probably forgot. And whoever else was supposed to be paying attention didn't pay attention to his continuity. After
everything that's happened,
that's nitpicking.
It doesn't make sense. Like, it's not like the NBA court, like after the championship game, right? Like, like why, if you're trying to like teach the daughter to not solve things with her fists, like why is she in the ring? Like what message does that send? That like we're celebrating what daddy does with his fists.
There should have been the scene where he was like, what you did was wrong.
Right.
You don't hit a girl for ripping your paper. You tell the teacher.
Yep.
But behind closed doors, he's like, that a girl. You know what I'm saying?
We can keep going for hours.
And honestly, to keep it 100, the reason why we going so hard on this film because I wanted to like it a lot more than I did, but I still liked it. And so, and it's enough stuff in this film to make us talk about it for longer than an hour.
This movie is like the girl that got away.
Man, for real.
It's like,
for real.
It's like the girl that got away. Like the one that you loved at 25.
Yeah.
That like, and no matter whatever you're doing in your life now, like who you with, but you'll always remember what could have been with her.
Yeah.
Right? Like if I didn't,
and you'll never have her. You'll never get it.
And you'll never get it again. That's how I feel about Creed 3. She was the one that got away.
Damn, Creed.
Damn.
3.
Ugh.
Go see the film, man. Michael B. Jordan, Jonathan Majors, Tessa Thompson. Please go see it. I'm gonna go see it again. I promise you I will. Even though I didn't rip it apart, but I will see it again because it's good enough to do that.
Yeah.
All right. So enjoy yourself, love life, man. That's this the episode of BlackBusters. I'm your host, Big Ja, along with
Tony Two Fists.
Tony Two Touch.
Tony Two Touch.
Both. Tony Two Touch, Tony Two Fists.
Right.
Both.
Yeah.
Bink.
Yeah. What am I fighting for?
Yeah, what am I fighting for? Man. That's our time, y'all. Yeah. Catch us next time, man, on BlackBusters, man. Be good or be good at it. Love life. Pew. To the max.
Peace.
BlackBusters.